All right, the recording has started. It's time for us to once again convene. Welcome, olds. We're all washed up now. We got the youngs doing, trying to trying to chomp our flavor. Is that a phrase? That's probably
Are
a
they
phrase,
really
right?
young? I'm
They're
pretty sure
no.
Jace has joined us.
Nah.
I'm
Jace,
pretty sure
Jace
they're
has been on
all.
olds. Firefalls
Yeah.
is married.
Yeah.
I have no
But,
idea
but
how
I,
old
I, I very
Beasley
much
is,
appreciate their presence. But
but
Everybody's
nevertheless,
young compared to me and James, though.
yeah,
Let's be
compared to
real.
us, you're all young.
I'm pretty damn old.
That's true. You're close. You're not far behind.
But yeah, we got some of the old masters here to keep us company today. Some Rembrandts, some Van Meen, I think is the name of one of these artists. I don't know. It's a bunch of public domain paintings of old guys with beards. So they're gonna lend us their wisdom for the night. That's the plan.
You drinking tonight, James?
I am not drinking tonight. I do have the Bell's Brewery pint glass, but it's just water.
It would be cooler if you were. I asked my wife what bespoke alcohol because I just don't drink much anymore, and so I have a vodka soda with lime and grenadine. Ooh.
Yeah. I've got the ye old Guinness right here. And check this out, guys. You're gonna like this
Oh,
one. Ready?
nice.
Check the shirt.
Oh my
Oh.
goodness, my
Reppin'.
goodness.
See, that's
Cannon?
guys. I'm not sponsored. But I would be open to it. I'd be open to it.
I'd be
Yeah, I'll
open.
take their money too. Well, actually, I'm drinking water too. Frozen water with whiskey in
Hey,
Well done.
it.
he knows
Maybe
his
I'll get
favorite
something.
knife, guys.
I'll get something for the second recording.
Oh yeah.
But alrighty, let's pull these up here. We got 16 teams we're gonna try and get through tonight, and we all got bedtimes. So
Keeps getting earlier too.
yeah. All right, we're gonna start.
Welcome everyone to a format so jank it might just make the VBL not fun, but I doubt it. The VBL is so fun. But like, give me my items. What is going on? Oh my god, I can't. I will try to handle this for one season, but I will be complaining a little bit at times. Like megas are poorly designed in terms of like they don't have any items, so like they always kind of have to run protect, and they're just stat sticks. And the format gave us not a lot of Pokemon, but a shit ton of megas. So Jace
lot of
got 3 of
megas.
them, and so I think we need to like consider these the base form because at most you're megaing 1 mana game. So sometime, So I think Garchomp functions perfectly fine as a itemless Garchomp, but Skarmory is like okay-ish, and Meganium is not even a Pokemon
and
without the
Meganium,
Mega.
yeah, not a Pokemon.
So I feel like this is a lot of points invested in Megas. Jace has given us the theory that it is good, and it appears to be good on ladder too. You're running 2 Megas, but is this too many points invested in Megas? Are the supports good enough that this is a very good team regardless of all the points in your Megas?
I think that Garchomp is rarely going to be the Mega. Don't get me wrong, it could sometimes, but I think that Mega Skarm and Mega Meganium are really solid to bring together, and then your opponent has to decide which one is going to be the Mega for that particular game in the set. I think those two pair together really well. They cover each other's weaknesses, and they're both super strong. Mega
Except they're
Skarmory,
both
even
weak to
though
fire, have extremely similar defenses. Like you basically don't even have to do real math to figure out, like, you just aim to kill the Meganium and you'll catch Skarm in the crosshairs, like with a good
yeah,
fire
with
type
fire
attack.
attacks specifically, that's true.
Well, that's, I guess, inconvenient, but the Skarmory has this cool thing where it can not Mega and, like, Swords Dance while having Sturdy, and then Mega.
Yeah, it does kind of
sort
have
of
an
a thing.
item because it has Sturdy, which is not nothing. There's some other, there's some cute, like, fairy steel dragon stuff going on with these 3 Megas, but not really, because that's only the case when it's Mega Meganium, and like if it's just in regular form, then it doesn't have that fairy typing. You've got your other steel in Empoleon here, Steel Water, great typing, just world class typing.
And that's the best thing about Empoleon, for sure.
Yeah,
I over-indexed on a lot of points spent on round 2, 3, 4 on the Megas, but like this is Jace's team in the Gholden Goats. Jace knows what he's doing, and even if it wasn't Jace, I would say this is a very strong core of supporting Pokemon, of Incineroar, and Raichu for the faster end of the support, and Slowking for the set Trick Room, or Heal Pulse, or Scald, or anything else, and Drampa for all the coverage, and Poltegeist for both the Trick Room option and the Shell Smash option. And Machamp has no guard Dynamic Punch. That's a thing. So this team is fairly deep, even if we're not relying on the Megas. So I think that's a very good start of the team. I think you have to think the Mega Meganium and Mega Skarmory are really good, even though it's telegraphed what they're doing, that they don't have items and they can't come together. To think the team is great, I think. But maybe that is the case.
Yeah.
Who's playing on ladder? Who knows that if two Mega teams are actually good on beach? Yeah, I
was playing the ladder for a little while, and two Mega teams were good. I haven't played much in the last week or two, so I know the meta is like constantly changing. And then just real quick, because I know Jordan's kind of down on the format, but I'm kind of intrigued by the simplicity of it. Like when you have items and you have Terra, like a lot of draft games become, surprise factors and trying to guess which item is where, and using Frisk and abilities and timing protects to figure out where the scarf is. I understand that's all part of the game too, but this is going to be a little bit more about just controlling the board state, just like positioning. You know what your opponent has. It's a little more clear. It's a little bit more like open team sheets almost. So it's different. I'm not ready to write it off as bad just yet. Maybe it will be. Maybe it'll be terrible. I don't know, but I'm a little hopeful. I think it'll be a fun, sort of different way to play than the way we've been playing for the last few years.
Thank you for giving a very convincing alternative case. It's definitely true that when you remove a lot of the surprise factor of both Terras and items, then the game becomes about in-game execution, about making the right calls, and that is great. But having played this game for years, I find the in-game execution to be something I can just never do better than anybody else in particular. I find it to be unpredictable and random, and I'm just a dedicated team builder, and I feel like all of my tools have been taken away from me, even though that's an exaggeration. It just feels like... Yeah.
I respect that.
My ability to win by team building is no longer as strong.
This definitely is
running
a little
Scarf,
bit.
Sash, Lum, Citrus every single week. These are the only items.
Right. And two mega stones.
Yeah. No, I respect that for sure. I think this is real quick. This is kind of like baby's first introduction to Pokemon, right? Let's not pretend it's not.
It makes a lot of sense for if your champion's trying to introduce competitive Pokemon to now millions of people. But I played Nat decks. I can't go back. I played hardcore shit.
You're spoiled.
Yeah.
No, I mean, to add to that, I think with this format too, it's we're talking about okay, it's a lot of points for 3 megas, but we're talking about how okay, what are the alternatives that you're running? It's you have to, it's like a cost benefit thing, right? So it's okay, yeah, you have Mega Scar, Mega Garchomp. It's what are those things to run instead, right? So it's Garchomp, maybe you hold a Lum or a Yoshberry, and that kind of hurts that you can't have that. But the other two, I feel I'd rather have the option to Mega it over most items in this format. I'm not without boosting items, without assault vests and things like that. It's there's so much less tools at your disposal, like you were saying, Jordan, that I feel having the Mega button available, and like you were saying, Daddy, it's what your team's gonna do. The more Megas you have, the more big threats that you kind of have to diversify your prep for. So I think having multiple Megas is not really a big deal. And it's you said it, Mega Garchomp doesn't need to Mega at all. It could just be Garchomp that's not holding an item, but
Slightly
the
worse
item it
Garchomp,
was gonna hold is kind of trash anyway, maybe. Because maybe you want another Mon to hold the Lumberry that week, and then it's what do you, I guess I'll just throw on Yoshberry. It's no, I'd rather have the Mega Stone button. So I think Jason's gonna find a fair amount of success with this Mega trio, and I think they all kind of you have to prep for each one differently, which I think adds a layer to this team, where it's you have to have an answer for all of them, because you really just don't know what he's going to do with it.
There is virtually nothing on this team that can hold Scarf reliably, though, which I think is kind of a problem.
Scarf Incineroar.
Yeah, Scarf
Poltegeist. He doesn't have U-turn anymore.
Scarf Machamp.
Scarf. No guard Dynamic Punch. That's all you need.
Yeah, honestly, that's kind of fire.
Yeah. I mean, is that
Well, so
outstanding
if you
if you're
consider
120s?
this version of the team good, which is removing the 2 megas and turning Garchomp into regular, then the team is great. And I think that is, like, because Jace found value. Like, I think Drampa is offering plenty
Yeah.
for 4 points. Slowking is
He's
offering plenty.
100%.
Yeah, so the value is so good that my concern about the Mega does not change the fact that I think this is a great team. Because
It's a good team.
the Megas are just the extra. What you're saying, the extra oomph, is that one
It's
time
the option.
Mega
Yeah.
Meganium changes a whole set, and then one time Skarmory changes a whole set, and if it's twice, then the team's great.
And
This
that could even
looks
be in the
like-
same week.
This looks
True.
like a Daddy Plan Part 2 team that somehow Incineroar didn't get drafted in Season 1, in Part 1. You know what I mean? It's like
Poor
a lot of...
We're making do with an odd selection of bonds. So synergy is going to be down as a whole because the format is smaller. But the power level, there's a lot of great Pokemon here, and
Yeah,
Incineroar
that's the other
it's its
thing.
time. Yeah.
Besides the, like... And we're kind of starting just with a broad format discussion and using Jace's team to kind of talk about it, which I think is fine. Beyond there's a lot of megas, and so you have and there's no items. The other thing is there's no Pokemon either. Like there's
Which
no Pokemon.
I'm okay
Pokemon
with,
game
right? We just played super low tier where
we play weird
we're
stuff,
making
but
do with weird Pokemon.
But because of where the like slices got done, there's no NFEs and all that. The teams are gonna look weird generally because like there's no, you're not picking up a 1 point Carkol and Machoke is not doing good work for you in the super low tier season because like they're just not there, right? Like Machamp is
the lack
Machoke.
of backups that do the same thing but slightly worse
just
is not
less-
there.
Yeah, it's a lot of roll
And, if you didn't
compressions.
prioritize Prankster Tailwind, that's just not going to be your team because there's only a few of them. And so the teams are good. So we're going to have to say like this is not a team that like was anyone's first idea of a perfectly synergetic team, but is it strong? I think this is either an A or an S for me. Like I really am a believer in it, but it's impossible to calibrate until we see the level of synergy on the other teams.
Yeah, I'm also very
Where are
much
you
on
guys?
it's going to be hard to calibrate until we look at some more teams, but I am leaning towards like a mid plus, so like a low A maybe or a high B for me, but it could all end up relative and like
I know.
everything
I
could be
honestly don't even
shifted.
know where to put it yet.
Yeah,
Because like it's also hard because like in a normal format it's like we talk about like like top heavy versus wide, but I feel like it's hard to even tell in this format because like the low tiers are like good Pokemon. You know what I mean? Like grabbing like a 5-point Machamp like that on a normal board that would be like 8. You know what I mean? Like or like a
there's
Aurora
a
says
lot
2
of that.
would be like a 6. You know what I mean? Or a 5. So it's like a lot of those baby mons that you normally just delete. You can't delete anything on any team. So like these teams are gonna look a lot wider, I think, in general. So it'll be interesting to see the rest.
Agreed.
All right, we want to talk about the next team here.
Let's do
We
it.
got Ray
Ray's team. Yeah.
returning Apex Alolan
I quite like.
Marowack.
Yeah. I quite like this team. I like it a lot.
Another
Sneasler,
triple
I
mega.
guess. Yes, Sneasler's like one of those mons that, I think it's like tough to justify so many points normally on like such a frail fast mon, but this mon's doing so much in this format, even without terrain to activate on Burden. You don't even really need it because it's like super fast. It's got Fake Out, Dire Claw is clicking buttons. You're threatening Okos with close combat. Like I think it's going to be really solid for this team. But what I really like is that a lot of the megas on this team, especially the Gyarados and the Scissor, really love having that redirection support on the Clefable, which I think kind of ties together the core that we're observing here. I like that you can, click Dragon Dance on Gyarados next to Clefable, follow me, and, Mega Scissor is going to click Swords Dance, and it's going to be covered really well. So I really think that the support on this team is quite nice, with the Sneasler providing the Fake Out support, the Clefable providing a lot of support. The Trick Room option becomes really good when you have a Mega Camel and a Reuniclus, which is really all you need in this situation. You have priority moves in Aqua. Does Gyarados get Aqua Jet? No, right? Does it?
No.
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 Let's find out.
But either way, you have
no, it
Scissor
does
with-
not. But the new priority is that Gyarados should live one of anything because it doesn't have a double weakness and it has really great stats.
Yes. And you get Bullet Punch, you get Shadow Sneak, right? So you have the priority available to make Trick Room attractive, even though some of your mons don't necessarily love it. So I think this team has a lot of options, and I think you have some really strong contenders here to do some damage.
Mega Camel really likes Trick Room, and think it's pretty well positioned here. The ground weakness on this team is a bit of a problem. Zoroark is kind of a nice little mix-up to throw in there with like Ceruledge maybe, but a lot of teams are going to be able to spam Earthquake against this.
Does this team have any over-the-top speed? Because I'm echoing Sukaba's, and like there's like a lot of great offense here, and I'm inclined to think the team's great, and so I'm looking for the limitation. If I was facing this team, I would run a Scarf and pass this team. Do they have any way of getting over the top besides Caesar is a strong priority option, but like is there any like way to increase their speed besides like using turns like Dragon Dance?
Put a Scarf on something. Bullet Punch.
Sneasler activates its own Unburden.
Oh yeah, the Unburden. Okay, yeah, the whiter.
You also have weak armor on Celluledge. Pretty good.
Okay. Is there any turn one option besides like spending actions, like to set Tailwind or to hit yourself to activate weak armor? There's no like Swift Swim.
No, maybe. I mean, you have Unburden, but it's hard to activate. Yeah. Right. It's like you would need like.
You just click Close Combat. Close Combat. It's easy.
Yeah. No,
yeah.
With White Herb.
Yeah, there's not a lot of items, so
maybe the priority is good enough. Ceruledge, Shadow Sneak, and Caesar, and Zoroark has Sucker Punch, and it's useful. And just the Zoroark mix-up, the fact that like you're expecting a Trick Room setup, and Zoroark comes at you way faster than you expect, could be good. That's actually the only thing that I'm worried about, and the ground weakness you covered, because I think like Mega Caesar barely has items Caesar wants to be covering. It's already good. It can be good with Mega Gyarados, and it can be really good by just giving it a little extra oomph. Mon's just really, really strong, and yeah, I think the pieces are really quality here. So synergy is not super obvious to me, but that doesn't make the team not great.
Yeah,
it's got all the tools.
Setup is really. Yeah, setup is like kind of hard to punish in this format, right? It's like, especially if you have a redirector.
Yeah.
It's like you have you have Encore, but like you have redirection, you have Mental Herb available, which is going to be a key player on a lot of teams. But like I really think like having a premier redirector is like kind of a real boon in this format, just because like there's no, especially with like Rage Powder, like there's a few Rage Powder users, there's no Goggles anymore, there's no Terra Grass, there's no Terra Ghost to dodge the fake out to do something anyway, right? So it's like there's no Covert Cloak to dodge the fake out. Like there's a lot of things that make redirection more attractive generally. So I think, having these setup mons like the Mega Scissor, the Mega Gyarados, they're really scary to me, if I'm looking at this team.
Yeah, leads are going to be a lot more critical this season. Like, good lead choice is going to be, like, you can't paper over a bad choice with an emergency Terra, or there's no Covert Cloak. Like, yeah, there's just the options are different and the options are more limited. So
that's true. And Sneasler is just the best lead. Like, that is the best Pokemon you could lead on the board. I truly believe that. It's so good.
Fastest fake out in the format, surely, right?
It's quite good.
Yeah.
Probably.
I've often said on these power rankings that great teams often look like a random jumble of good Pokemon. That like it's easy when you're like power ranking to look quickly assessing a team. You're looking for the obvious synergies like weather or terrain or Trick Room. But when you're drafting, you're looking at all of the mons. You're looking for all the tools, and this team has all the tools. If we can't come up with another issue about this team is an S tier team. Because we've all noted many of the strengths, the multiple intimidates, the redirection, the fake out, every tool you would ask for, including all the power, no short of power. If we can't call out anything more than a ground weakness, then I think this is a top team.
Yeah, I do like the team. I like this Mega Gyarados with the Clefable. I mean, the reason people know, Pachirisu as like the crazy mon that won and nobody thought it could. It was there to support Mega Gyarados. It was not there to be a meme or to be like good for its own sake. It was it was there because
did it have Nuzzle or was it just Super Fang?
Super Fang, Nuzzle, Protect,
Follow Me,
and a fourth and Follow Me. Yeah, of course. Because that's why it was there. It was Citrus Berry, Volt Absorb. It was there to protect Mega Gyarados specifically so it could Dragon Dance and win.
Yeah, look at how well the Mega Gyarados
is just
and the Mega Scizor are
better Pachirisu.
You have no other rock weaknesses. You have no other electric weakness with a niche lightning rod. The
Yep.
team very, very strong.
Scissor's
well
like so
supported,
usable without without megaing, right? Like you really don't need the item. Like, do you want an Akaberry sometimes? Like, yeah. Like, do you want a Lumberry
And, like,
sometimes?
you've
Yeah.
got
But like,
the
you can just click Sword Dance anyway with the Mega Stone and just Mega Gyarados instead, and
And
Scissor's still really scary.
you don't really want to bring fire types into this team, right? I mean,
Yeah, they kind of get
Yeah, the
owned.
defensive the
Yeah.
profile is really, really good with Clefable helping it out. We will
I mean,
maybe have to revisit this as we tier other teams, but I'm just going to put it in S
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
then
I
figure
like-
out
I
what
like
team
S
can
I
beat
mean,
it.
one thing you could note is just like the Tailwind option is Scissor, which is like not something that it wants to click because it wants to be doing offensive things. So it's like if this team runs into opposing Tailwind that can set it up when Ray's not prepared for it, I could see a situation where this team kind of gets outscaled before it can really set up and do its damage. But I mean that we're nitpicking, right? Like this is obviously
weather is huge in champions also. So no weather setters on the team.
no
The only
weather
thing I
problem.
think, right?
No
Yeah,
weather
it has to
speed.
worry about is over the top speed, which comes from weather, as Dad has said, or if you have a prankster. I would love it if they had like a secondary trick room so that you can respond to I've lost a speed war, but then I trick room. Like if Saraledge was like Gengar and could just do an emergency trick room, that would be really good. But that's I think the only thing they have to worry about is just like getting rampaged at the beginning because they're not quite the fastest. But otherwise, it's a really, really great team. Well done, Ray.
We got the 8 pixel. Yep, I like it as well. It's
I think
strong-
speed
strong team
control
for sure.
outside of the Sneasler and weather control might be problematic though. So I don't know. Top of A for me so far.
Yeah, let's see. All right, next up, we got these here Togekisses, Sukaba.
Well, we know that round one is JDB approved. It is the perfect
Absolutely
starter.
Well done.
Yeah,
The
and
perfect
round
first
two
pick.
is me approved because I picked it as I picked Volcarona as my round one. Though right now I'm a little bit worried. Like Volcarona was a superhuman when it had access to Terra. Right now, it does have a big target on its back. But I think Sukaba
100%.
built out a team that does not place a target unnecessarily on Volcarona's back, that it has no other rock weaknesses. That's pretty cool. Now you're substituting that for water weaknesses and fairy weaknesses. I think the only thing that I'm worried about is that if Sableye is your centerpiece, its only weakness is fairy. You can't be stacking on a few other significant fairy weaknesses, and same thing with water weaknesses. These are really important Pokemon, but that's like a small nitpick. And maybe folks will back me up that that's a big issue, but the pros here is that we have a ton of power. Sukaba likes his big numbers. He likes his multipliers. He's got prankster screens, which is going to make the numbers go even higher. Mega Chimecho seems like a great player at a low cost, and Mega Feraligatr, I like that. They took my approach of not depending on their megas and having plenty of good mons that are going to be week in, week out. The Azu, the Volk, and the Mudsdale are going to do well, and so you don't need a big target on your mega mons. They can actually surprise you, and I think Masquerada and Gengar are in a great position here too. Some of the back mons I don't care about, but I think the team is really great based on its numbers and its variety alone.
And Sableye is just excellent premium support. It's a great first pick, especially Sukaba was saying earlier that a lot of those lower tiered Pokemon are still really strong. You know, maybe not the 1 and 2 pointers as much, but those 5, 6, 7 pointers, you know, you could definitely squeeze value out of those, especially when you have one of, probably top 3 support Pokemon on the board. Sableye is faking out, it's clicking Encore, it can change the weather, it Will-O-Wisp, right? Its move pool is enormous. We know it has, 4-move syndrome because its move pool is crazy. Mega Feraligatr is going to benefit from things like Quash, things like Rain Dance. So you can take these mid-tier-ish megas like Feraligatr and Chimecho and give them premium support, and all of a sudden they don't look so mid-tier anymore. So yeah, I like that first pick a lot.
I wonder, how does this team look if we talk about them in the context of the non-mega versions? I realize they're not the non-mega versions, right? But like some amount of the time, right? You have a Feraligatr that can never be Sheer Force, which is a huge portion of its offensive value.
Well, it sure can. It just can't be Life Orb.
Well, sure, it can't be Life Orb. I mean, that's an extra, what, like 29% on
If
top
these
of
weren't their
everything whatever.
megas, then
But-
Feraligatr and Chimecha would be late picks. But
Yeah.
True.
Based upon, I thought Jace's team is a really good team because we did not need the megas to act as megas for the team to be good. And I think this team is not. I think it's a good point though that I don't see quite maybe as much of depth, if not in this team as Jace's. But the depth is really good. They're still like Gengar is going
let's call it real. These mons suck without Mega. Feraligatr
Well,
and
yeah,
Chimecha
even
they're
if you
ass.
remove them entirely from this draft, Gengar is pretty good. Volcarona is pretty good, and not just in terms of the core thing they do, but in terms of the variety of things they do. The ability to still get a surprise on people. Manectric, not a Pokemon, but even then, I'm still impressed with the other 8 Pokemon here.
Yeah. So far, we've been seeing most. I mean, we've looked at 3 teams, but basically, like 110 to 120 has kind of been our high spots. Meowscarada being 128 is pretty nice.
Yeah, Prankster is really huge because
the Prankster. I mean, our first real priority we've seen across 3 teams. And
I really like that
Meowscarada's
this
speed
team has a
Asu's got
variety of
Aqua Jet.
fast options, so that one of them can be bulky and one of them can be the max speed to make sure it has the way to take a revenge KO. So this is while they've all been in the same like highest point, this team has a lot of speedy options, which I think is pretty good.
I mean,
in addition to a Prankster over the top.
like, let's be real. Hawlucha in prior seasons has been a joke, right? Now,
You
118
kinda do
speed on
things.
this board.
You swagger, you sword stance.
You can do things occasionally, right? Meowscarada
No,
is
listen.
going to be really good. Gengar, I think, is going to be really good. Manectric isn't real, right?
No,
So
Hawlucha's going to
You
coach
could delete
the Mega
That mon
Feraligatr
sucks.
or Mudsdale or something like that.
Yeah, that's all it's
most
got to
of the
do.
time, yeah. No way.
No,
to
I that's kind of
get
what I
its
went
own
for though with the.
unburden. It's kind of
Yeah.
a bummer.
Well, I went for Hawlucha and Mudsdale as like those are mons I definitely wanted once I picked Sableye because of the swagger synergy. Just being really strong ways to set up.
Yeah, own
We
tempo.
got own tempo. We have swagger with. I know you don't have you don't have mirror herb anymore to swagger the opponent, but you still have Lumberry, so you can just swagger yourself. And I feel like having that fast immediate offense in this format is going to be really strong. Like Brave Bird does a lot of damage, and there's not a lot of offensive flying stab. So like getting +2 Brave Bird at double 118 speed is going to be a big boon for a lot of weeks. But I mean, I agree with you.
I
think
really like
the
that
Megas
explosiveness, and that's a major thing your team has over some of the others we've looked at already. What I will say though is if you're leading Sableye, Hawlucha, neither of these mons are living a real hit, especially if they're clicking Brave Bird
Dazzling
and they're
Gleam.
sharing a fair. Yeah, they're both dead. So yeah, the team is
yeah.
going to be explosive and sometimes high risk.
Oh yeah,
but
100%.
the
But
reward
to be honest, I don't even.
this is up there with the other teams I've seen.
sorry, go ahead,
Yeah.
Tsukaba.
I don't even know if these megas are good. I'm gonna be honest. I just thought Mega Feraligatr looked fun as hell.
I think it
And,
will
like,
be
the
pretty
typing's
good.
good,
It has
power's
Aquajet,
good,
doesn't
like-
it? So I mean, just that is
Yeah,
probably.
I think it'll be pretty good. I also think leading something like Sableye and Hawlucha, people might be predicting that swagger combo, right? So they fake out into the Hawlucha, you protect, and then you encore them into fake out, right? So, the Sableye's so freaking good, it's crazy. Yeah, I don't know. A lot of mix-ups on this team, yeah.
Yeah, we got double edge. Okay, so we can we can dragonize our
quick
double
attack.
edges.
But then it takes so much damage back, and then it dies. Like,
Does it
I
get
think
quick attack? It doesn't
Body
get
Slam
quick
is going to
attack.
be your
No,
your
it has to
move
do
of
Aqua
choice.
Jet, but still, that's fine. That's fine. It's got priority. Yeah, the Mon is a Dragon Dance threat, and it's also a just click buttons threat. I think the 160 is plenty.
70.
Yeah,
and
I mean, it's
yeah,
Water
but,
Dragon
like,
is good typing, and
Sableye
it's
could
pretty
quash
bulky.
something for Feraligatr to kill, or Feraligatr can protect turn 1, and Sableye can Thunder Wave 2 things over the course of 2 turns, or...
Yeah, it's not Charizard
really
Y,
leaning
but
on
you're
Sableye
you're
here.
paying half what you would for Charizard Y, right? So it's
yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Love it. It's an A
I
tier
like
for
the
me.
team. Yeah, I like it as well. I like it better than Ray's. I don't know. I'm trying to be less precious about getting my rankings exactly perfect, because the 5 to 7 minutes of conversation is the point, and the this is the punctuation mark so we can move on to the next one. Speaking of the next
Wise
one,
words.
we got the Dublin Dondozos here, the return of Ryan O'Giggs.
Welcome back.
We got a rain team, unabashed, no argument. This is a rain team, right? We've got the rain setter, we've got a swift swimmer, we've got another mon that can take advantage of the rain. We've got mons that don't mind being in the rain to mitigate other weaknesses. We've got an electric type. Like, this is a rain team, right? They all kind of have the same shape. This team specifically, I think, is going to be mostly like these three plus Excadrill plus two of these, depending on the week, most of the time. I am not a Mega Beedrill believer. I am not a Houndoom or Lycanroc believer. Rotom fan is always overrated, in my opinion. Weavile's great. Vivillon is great. Gardevoir knows every move of the game. When I say great for Vivillon, I mean it's fine. Like, it does 10 points worth of stuff most weeks, right? This is I wonder how much I know the discussion has been weather is important, right? In Champions, weather is important. That's the ladder, though, right?
Yeah.
It's not like...
I assume equally important as it is in other draft league seasons.
Yeah.
Just slightly more, just because there's more weather setters as a fraction of the mons available. So it's going to be
mons, sure.
Is Beedrill real? Am I a believer? I have no idea. We will have to see.
Kind of for fairies, dude. It deals with fairies. It's fast. It'll kill them, right?
And I'm just not. I'm gonna
150 and 145 is super fast.
Does it deal with fairies?
But it dies to every priority move.
You protect the fairy, and it literally dies to anything that the partner
you protect the
puts out
Beedrill and call the protect, and then they die, right? It's like I don't know, and it's special defense.
This is what I didn't want to get bogged down on, because it's very hard to figure out if Beedrill is actually going to be its potential or not.
It'll have its niches. The low tier mons in this team have their roles. I think they, none of them are good. I'm not saying like, Houndoom is the best Pokemon ever, but it's not useless in the format. I think there could be situations where you bring it Flash Fire and decent special attack and attack. You could find places to use it. You're not going to bring it every week. You are going to bring the rain portion of the team every week, and it's very strong. Archaliodon, however you say it, is a phenomenal Pokemon in the format, especially with a rain setter. Now, I do agree with what James is saying, though. People know the rain's coming every week. That's different than a ladder match, right? You can have a Pokemon on your team to deal with rain. When you're going up against this team, your team is designed to go up against rain. I think that will be a little bit of a problem for Ryan. I think we've seen that with a lot of weather teams over the years, is that people know it's coming, so they plan accordingly.
Points into these top three mons here, and
but they're so good.
Well, I'm going to agree they're so good, Daddy, that Archaliodon is fantastic, but I'm actually going to be a big naysayer as much as I can be while still loving Ryan and thinking the team's not bad. But I'm going to say, like, the rain synergy, they could have done more. Like, Vivian is, like, already hitting its hurricanes because it has compound eyes, and, like, Rotom is honestly not affected by the rain. Like, there's not a ton besides avoiding fire weaknesses, and I don't think Basculegion F, it is still good, but when you're really dependent on multipliers, like just losing that 20 points when it's going to be doubled by adaptability, when it's going to be 50% more on rain, you're going to miss out on these KOs that the real Basculegion is getting. I think this team is lacking synergy a bit, and in many senses, that's unavoidable with this format, but I think the other teams before us found it a little bit more. This team has a ton of tools, but I'm not going to say like they work well together, like that they necessarily have the defensive profile. Like, we don't handle electric moves that well. We don't handle our own water moves that we're rain boosting that well. Like Mega Excadrill, it's good to have a ground type on a rain team to like dodge your electric moves, but I still think it's a good click into the team overall. I still think water moves are a pretty good click into the team overall.
I'm bringing water coverage versus...
Now, because I don't
Army
think
all the
Houndoom and
time.
Lycanroc are doing much, but they're not expected to. They're 1-pointers, but I think the team is a little bit less deep when you consider that some of these mons are just going to die. I think Gardevoir is like all the potential, but in practice, half the time it just dies. And the same is with Politoed and with Basculin Legion. I really want Assault Vest on this Archaludon. I really want Specs on Politoed. I really want Band on or Specs on Basculin Legion. And just without that, these mons are a little bit understated and under-synergied. For me, this team stays in B tier, even though it's full of good stuff, just because of the 3 teams that came before it.
See, I disagree. I think this team is going to be the top 5+1
disagree.
a lot of weeks, and I think the top
Okay,
5
cool.
is really strong. I think it's going to be a protect the Arch team, and then Basket Legion comes in the back to clean things up as a worse version of the male counterpart. And then the mons, below that, Gardevoir and down to Lycanroc, those are going to be your niche Pokemon that you bring to specific matchups. Excadrill is a little easier to plug in and play, but I think the other ones all have value. Rotom Fan is the worst Rotom, but it's still Rotom. It's still really good. Vivian is also incredible. You can Scarf it and put everything to sleep. You can use Friend Guard and redirect. This team is just protect the Arch, let it boost, let it pick up KOs, and then clean
It
up
is
with
hard to kill.
Parasong, clean up with Last Respects. I think it's pretty well built in those top 5.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm a little leaning more towards Jordan here. I think it's good, but I mean, Discquake eats this team for lunch, right? You just click Earthquake and Discharge, and you just kind of like, I don't know. Like, I do think the weaknesses are a little compounding.
also
Like, this
got-
team really needs like it needs like a Raichu to have like Fake Out support, and that's also
would be
doubles
nice,
as
yeah.
Lightning Rod to protect like the electric weakness a little more.
How does this team deal with Trick Room? Because
Put him to sleep.
it
Don't.
doesn't.
Good point.
Yeah, like no mons below 70. Gardevoir is your only Trick Room mon, which is to say you have no real ability to reverse Trick Room. I mean, you have to be like, is there?
Do you see priority moves besides Basque Aquajet, which is still not the greatest? We have, I guess,
An
Weavile Ice Shard.
Yeah, no,
That's
not
about it,
not
though.
much.
Yeah, and again, so
Whirlwind,
some of these mons,
Vivillon
yeah,
has
fast trail guys
Whirlwind.
are just going to immediately die if Trick Room goes up.
Roar. We've got.
I don't
guess
think Arch
Ludon
doesn't
has
care who
Roar.
goes first. Arch lives, and it gets more powerful as time goes on. That this one's
It doesn't
broken, I'm
have
telling
body
you.
press, and it doesn't have Assault Vest. It's really, really good, but like it's not quite where it was.
I think in a metagame where there's no items, I think it's top tier.
Well,
Do we have
it's-
beat up?
Especially
So
with
the
rain.
thing is, though, it's not actually no items, right? It's close in that all the really like the premium items are all not available, but like there are plenty of mons that can take advantage of a focus sash to to great
Yeah.
effect to set up for a turn and then and then kill the Archaludon. There's Scarf is still around, right? Citrus Berry to let you live the hit you're not going to live otherwise, and then do what you need to do over the course of 2 turns. Like, it's not no items, but the amount to which Pokemon are affected by the lack of items is not equivalent across the board.
Yeah, it's got some fake out immunities, both Basque Ghost type and the Shield Dust Vivian. So it's almost like we have Cloak at home.
The other thing I noticed, there's a lot of type immunity abilities on this team that are massaging this type chart. Because you're never running Water Absorb. I mean, water specifically is not a huge deal, but it's not nothing, right? Your Levitate.
I
is
got
relevant.
beat when I was Arch
The
Rain
Flash
by
Fire.
Paladin
Nothing.
because water resists aren't real in Rain. So I think the water problem is like a big problem.
Yeah, but okay, if you take off the bottom 2, then is water
But
a real
the lack
problem?
of resists.
Yeah.
That's more what I'm talking about.
I remember
this-
Palafin in Rain did 96% with a wave crash into my Politoed. And I was like, shit.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there's that.
And like a lot of these mons don't want to take rain boosted wave crashes and
with the Aqua Jet cleanup.
I mean, some of them don't even want to take wave boosted Aqua Jets, right?
Yeah.
Okay, it's gonna say and B,
But,
but we definitely gave a good, well-rounded perspective of how to beat this team while still thinking it has plenty of things going for it.
I like that team.
I'm glad. I'm glad that
Yeah.
we have some different stakes
Yeah,
in the
for
ground, Dad. This is good.
A returning
this
runner-up.
one, this guy,
Awesome. Holy
Steve,
shit. Best
what a
team we're gonna see all
monster.
night. Obviously.
Okay, talk about fucking, pardon my French, bleep that out in post.
Definitely not.
Talk about ladder teams. Look at these top 3 picks. Come on now. That's just a sand core right there. Mega T-Tar is insane. So it sets weather, and then if you change the weather, it megas and it resets its own weather. And Garchomp is very good in the sand, and Corviknight doesn't die. And you're reluctant to bring electric type moves to take out the Corviknight because his team has a Garchomp and it has a Rotom. You're spamming earthquakes next to the Corviknight and the Rotom, and you are taking names with those Pokemon. Lycanroc was, how many points was Lycanroc? 3?
3.
A steal for sand teams, right? Once you get beyond the Prim, then I think they're a little bit more niche. You know, Mega Abomasnow, I don't know how well it fits on this team. I guess in certain Trick Room matchups, could be good. Obviously,
Yeah, I don't
it's
really
very
get
slow.
that one. Even if Mega Abomasnow did nothing, the team is not only the ladder, like as in like people can see the synergies, which is why it succeeded on the ladder, but also the draft league players in us can see that that these mons are so bulletproof that even when you're in a world where people are going to run weird sets, Primarina has the energy ball to beat the other water types, and Corviknight has like a good range of whether it's aggressive or whether it's setting up. Lycanroc is, if you find the one way through these incredible like typings and stats, you still lose 30% of the time because you got rock slide flinch. So like this team is the best team I will see all night. I beg you guys to find holes in this team because it looks to me like it is over the top in terms of power, speed, defensive synergy, and it's got a prankster. And just to tie it all together, it seems nuts to me.
I mean, the prankster doesn't actually do any prankster stuff, really. Like, it doesn't get...
Encore.
Like, I guess it does.
Prankster Taunt is so good in this format. You have all these megas that you can just freely taunt without having to worry about an herb.
I'm gonna take back what I said, because I was looking for a different shaped sprite here, and so I missed that the Banette is, in fact, in all the good places you want a prankster to be. So... I was wrong.
Yeah, it doesn't have everything, but it does have...
Yeah, it might die, but it's always going to get to do 1 to 2 things, and that's all you need.
And it's got Poltergeist.
Yeah, see, it is seriously huge. Yeah.
And guess what?
Shadow Sneak.
Nobody's knocking off their Mega Stones. You always get to Poltergeist with that Mega Stone.
I don't know if Mega Banette is living the non-boosted knockoff either way, but it will get to Shadow Sneak or Will-O-Wisp, and that will
No, that's not what I mean. Sorry. Its Poltergeists are always going to hit those Mega. Like,
good call.
There's going to be a lot of berries, and so there will be targets that it will not be able to hit with a Poltergeist, but there's enough megas floating around that it's gonna have things to do all the time is the point I was making.
You know what team might give Steve some problems is Ryan's team. Rain team might cause a little trouble here.
Primarina?
I mean, outside of Prim,
yeah,
right?
I see what you're saying.
There's a pretty big water weakness, but I as I looked at the bottom few picks a little bit more, that kind of shores up a pretty solid Trick Room mode too, right? Mega Abomasnow, setting Aurora Veil maybe for Conkeldurr, or just getting those things, slow down the pace.
It's just a one-mon defense where like you're gonna want to run these top 7 all the time, but you just put Mega Abomasnow in the 6th slot so that you spook people from setting Trick Room, or sometimes you win against the
But
Trick
like,
Room.
is Mega Obama really like single mon Trick Room different? Like, it's not a Mungus. Like, it's not like that level of mon where like I'm not that scared of a Mega Obama under Trick Room.
It's really good.
Like, if I'm setting Trick Room against this team,
is really good.
But if I'm setting Trick Room against this team, like, surely I have good options that can deal with that one problem. You know what I mean?
Maybe.
It's like, I think that if you want to poke holes in this team, like we're nitpicking obviously because it's cracked, it's unreal. It's unbelievable. And like it probably doesn't care that it's going second, even if you set Trick Room. But that being said, I mean, these are mons that have some pretty big weaknesses. You know, your Sand Core is 4x weak to, you know, ice and fighting, which are going to be really strong, powerful, you know, offensive moves that you're going to bring. You're going to bring your close combats, and then Tyranitar can't do anything about it. You're going to bring your Garchomp, you know, you're going to bring your Ice Beam and your Ice Spinner. I mean, does it matter? They might live the hit anyway, honestly, unless you have a lot of power. But I mean, I
If
think
Mega
it's
T-Tar
worth
somehow
noting
lives
that.
a close combat anyway because of these numbers, then the team goes number one all night. Otherwise, I'm just gonna say no. Honestly, it's still my number one all night. I'm good, but I would love it to have Fake
I'm not
Out.
disagreeing.
That's all. That's the only nitpick I can find. Fake Out is king here.
I think Mega Tyranitar as well is like a nice mega for a draft league to be like your primary mega, right? Because Tyranitar can use a lot of its items, like a lot of different items, but it also doesn't necessarily need them because you can you can just massage the stats on a regular Tyranitar to do a lot of different stuff. And so when you get the then 100 points of stat boost when you mega, you can do that when you need to rather than when you have to. If that
the hope is that the boosted stats acts like all the items you wanted.
Yeah.
Hope. All right.
The team, especially if Sand isn't up, isn't very fast. That's another thing.
Sand's gonna be up most of the time.
Yeah, I mean, weather wars are gonna be intense in this season. Most teams have weather option. Virtually every team has weather option. Corva's solid, but it's slow. It's a slow.
Yeah, I mean, it's
and I put on my team too.
Tailwind,
It's amazing. It's an
right?
amazing Pokemon.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's not good, but yeah, it is a slow Tailwind setter. So this team might not always go first. Now it is
it's a little
pretty
mid-speedy.
bulky.
That's fair. That's like one of the biggest things we can
I think
find
water
here.
types will be a little bit of an issue. You have, Rotom, you have Primarina. Rotom's also weak to water moves.
Yeah,
and it's
Rotom
not
is a
the
tough
fastest.
water answer. It is.
Right.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think I'm
It's a good
little
team.
lower on it than Jordan is overall.
I'm coming down to reality a little bit. It still stays in top tier, but there
it
might
is
be
a
very
very
good.
good
Yeah.
team. But
I'm only being so critical because it is very good, but I don't think it's like
You can also,
infallible.
I mean, honestly, I'm noticing too. You can argue that this team leans a little uncomfortably far in the physical direction as opposed to special. I mean, you do have like Primarina, right, to be clicking big special buttons, but like if you're prepping for the main core of Garchomp, Tyranitar, Lycanroc, and Conch, like you can kind of bring your Will-O-Wisps and your Reflex, and like it's gonna have an
Intimidating.
impact most weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Besides Mirror Armor, you're mostly
Yeah,
doing well.
It's still S tier though. Who are we
we
kidding?
have Incineroar in the division. We also have
You have Gyarados before it megas.
Mega Gyarados before it megas. Do you have an Intimidate on your team? You do not. Ryan also does. So there are.
Point is, there's Intimidate, and
there's
they
some
will
Intimidates for
be
you
effective
around.
here.
There's an Arcanine.
I don't counter team. I don't try to beat my opponents. I try to beat everything.
Nah.
Yeah, I don't even look at
I do
the
like
tier,
the
moving
division
on.
until after the
Woo!
draft. I feel like it's more fun that way.
Good job, Steve. Nice team.
Who we got?
Heaven.
We got Heaven. What are we looking at here?
This is like the most Heaven draft I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, the double
Heaven-
fairies is
Heaven
lovely.
confuses
and
me so every
hard
single
trick
season.
room.
I'm like, what?
Yeah.
I'm like, what are you doing? But then Heaven manages to go like 6-2 anyway, or 6-1, and
It
make the
is
playoffs.
very impressive that Heaven has been in playoffs 5 seasons straight with some teams that I found to be very bizarre. And he finally beat me and Poppin, which were big albatrosses for him in the last season. Anything is possible having the coach, but this team, if we the team, it is kind of jank. Let's assume that Clefable is not Mega Clefable. Because honestly, I don't think Mega Clefable gets you much. I don't think it was a really good second round pick. I think mostly Clefable is just fine redirecting and clicking Moonblast. This is a Mega Drampa team, and do you think that is a Mega that carries the team? Maybe, but this is a team that only clicks Trick Room unless it is Prankster T-Waving. And that is very odd to me. The fact this is a team significantly slower than the 5 we saw before. Not even a little bit. you don't need to run a single speed boosting nature if you are any of the teams we've looked at, and you have no weather. I guess you can do Clef. Oh, here's the tech. Klefki has Prankster Sandstorm into Sandrush Excadrill. That's the only thing we have, and we have Extreme Speed Arcanine. But otherwise, this team is going to get run over really quickly. Like Blastoise is the one that tries to fake out and tries to slow down that like snowball early game, but this team is just full of mid-speed bonds and is trying to outbalance you, but like I don't know if it necessarily wins with a Trick Room because it's not strong enough. The team, it seems like a real struggle bus to me. It's really, really more defensive than it needs to be. I just think teams should be more offensive.
I agree. I feel like this team's numbers are a little baffling too. It's like, look at the speed tiers. That's crazy. There's like literally 9 of the Pokemon are between 60 and 90. That's a 30 speed range for 9 Pokemon. And it's like, it's not like your lower ones are like that extreme either. It's not like you have like a 1 to 30 speed top mon to kind of like threaten. It's like Arcanine is your fastest mon, and that mon's not very fast, you know? So it's like, I think it's going to struggle to go first. And like, it's a little like, yeah, it's like too supportive. Like, I think Clefable and Klefki are just like, there's so much like roll compression with those two, because it's like they're not doing damage really. And I guess you could argue that Mega Clefable can do a lot of damage, and maybe that's the flexibility of that is what makes a dynamic supporting duo. But like at the same time,
Arcanine and Blastoise are so much support on top of that.
Right. And you invest so much, 25 points of your budget, it's a quarter of your budget on your first 2 picks, and it's like, do you really feel comfortable bringing Klefki and Mega Clefable most weeks to the same game? It's like they kind of like, you know, I feel like if you do that, you're limiting your offensive output so much, or you're basically forcing Clefable to click the Mega button to be offensive, which I think is better suited for some other mons.
But then you fail to sweep with Trick Room, because without a Drampa, you're not sweeping with a Trick Room.
I don't get it. Make it make sense.
Yeah, the whole time you guys are talking, I'm trying to find like the major strengths of the team, but I'm seeing kind of the same holes. I think that speed clumping is a problem, and there's no really reliable fast mode that's really achievable. Like you're not setting Tailwind with 2 cannon. I'm sorry, it's not happening. You're clicking Beak Blast.
You can, but that's not a strong game plan.
Yeah,
you can Scarf Blastoise Water Spout. Maybe. You know, you like the defensive profile is so strong with the double Intimidate and Klefki that like you're always going to live a hit. The game will not be decided on turn 1, but you're going to be behind consistently. It's not just on turn 1. You won't die on turn 1, but you'll still be behind on turn 2. And I fail to see how Trick Room is going to win the game because the team is just not quite explosive enough. All right, so for me, this is a C-tier team, even though it's really good. It's really good, but if we're going to pick a team that we think has some struggles in terms of like how it efficiently cleans out games, this is the one.
Yeah, this is a team full of mons that I really love. Like Weirdeer, I think is a great draft mon. Blastoise, Arcanine, any prankster you can get your hands on is a great decision. You know, me and Drampog go way back.
They're great, but they're not centerpieces, right?
But there's
like
there's no centerpiece. There's no centerpiece on this team, and like, yeah, it's I'm not crazy about it either. I mean, I'm crazy about basically all these mons, like, but not this team.
Yeah. No, I hear. I think that makes a lot of sense.
You can make up for your lack of offense, or Life Orb. You don't have these things, and you have setup. Yeah. Like the setup is good here. Like Shell Smash and
great.
Sword Stance, but
that's what I was gonna say. It's like this team, like despite the weaknesses we're highlighting, is obviously a threat to win any week still, and that's just the nature of this format as well. I mean, it's like Blastoise is gonna be offensive a lot of times. I feel like with Shell Smash, you know, when you have premier support like you do for it, it's like it's harder to.
But it has no fake out. The only fake out is itself.
Right. But I mean, you have Follow Me, and you have Screens, and you have Prankster, Thunderwave, and it's not bad. The support for it. I mean, it's gonna struggle a lot to like come up with a consistent game plan that can win, but it has the tools to win a lot of games, I think, is my assessment.
True.
It needs to Shell Smash, or it needs Rain to be doing like really significant damage with Water Spout, and I don't know. I don't know if the team has enough to really enable something like Blastoise to sweep consistently. Heaven's a great player, not knocking him personally. He'll find ways to make it work for sure. But it'll be difficult, I think, a lot of weeks.
it it almost feels like it's like a challenge or theme draft that we can't figure out what the theme is. Like there's a reason there's no like all the mons have to be between, you know, I mean it's not the case, but you know, all the mons have to be between 8 and 12 points or something, like, you know, that sort of thing. It's not literally true, but
I think Heaven's weak point is that they draft mons they like. That they're a
that's my
better
weak
team
point,
builder and
too.
player
I
than they
mean,
are a drafter
that's-
because they draft mons they like.
yeah.
I draft
What-
mons I like, but I also make sure it's the strongest possible
You-
draft every single time. I'm
You like
an
mons
unabashed
that are good in
tryhard.
draft.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's my problem. Yeah,
I
it's
just
perfect
like the
overlap.
best
I
mons.
like
I
it
just
because
love
it's good. It's
Incineroar.
good because I like it.
Incineroar is the best character in Smash Bros. That's why I like it.
Where is
Onwards.
Regi Labs? Yes, onwards. We got
Welcome
two
back,
left here.
Nemo. Now Kath.
Now
Kath
Kath
is doing the classic season 2 glow up where they show potential in season 1 and they bring back extra effort in season 2 and always your results improve. I think the offense on this team is fantastic, and I think not just the numbers in terms of like Mega Medicham killing anything, and so is Mega Zard, but like the offensive variety. Like you're not walling Megazard and Medicham and Mamoswine with
And
both those
Mamoswine.
stabs and Hydreigon. So the offense is fantastic, and you guys are gonna have to tell me whether it makes up for the fact that this team is speed clumpy as heck.
Ooh, it sure is.
You are going to Scarf Rockslide and Trick Room this team, and it's going to like really struggle if it has not decisively gotten an advantage on turn 1 or 2. The team is a little bit like, you've got so many pieces of offense, but you need to remember how important speed is in this game, where you need a bigger speed number. You would really like Prankster. You would really like a Trick Room defense that's more than just Slowking. As great as Slowking is, you're going to have to bring it a lot of the time just so that you can set Trick Room after you've lost the Speed War. You can reverse Trick Room after you've lost to a Trick Room mode. You're going to need to bring it, and that's, I think, a loss because the team has got so many great offensive pieces, and it'd be very hard to bring these back half when you also have the front half.
Yeah, it feels like a top-heavy team. Mamoswine is really well positioned here to, you know, be launching Earthquakes.
The Earthquake
top
synergy is
4
fantastic,
mons.
yeah.
It's going to be a lot of damage.
This is
for
a
sure.
top-heavy team. I
think it struggles to find who to bring.
Yeah, this is a team. This is the 4 move slot syndrome of teams, right? Like you want to bring 8 mons every week.
I don't think so. I think the bottom 4 are. They don't.
These are the 8
I don't
mons I want to bring.
see-
Yeah, I agree.
I don't. But Slowking
think you
doesn't fit. You
always
don't
want
wanna
to
go
bring
slow.
I think
It's-
you actually like these are good value picks because Sharpedo Speed Boost is the only over the top option I see. If not for Scarfing and Hydreigon setting Tailwind, like it might need to be there just in case, even if it's not coming often. Like, yeah, and I guess Venusaur having the Chlorophyll Sleep Powder is definitely an over the top speed option. So maybe. And Hydreigon is a Tailwind, and Mega Medicham is a good backup Trick Room setter. So you know, I'm gonna walk back. There are speed control options, but the fact that all these mons are in a speed clump, it really gives opponents an easy time building to outspeed the team, to underspeed the team, and to play their game plan.
I think Slowking is not. Somebody said it earlier, and I think that's a really good comparison. It's not Amoonguss, right? It's not your. I'm going to bring this, and
You
my
said
opponent is
that.
terrified to set up. I didn't say that.
No, that was
but-
good.
Yeah, that was
Oh,
Sukaba.
you said
And
it. Okay.
This is not the mon they're going to be like, oh shit, there's a Slowking. I better not set Trick Room, right? And you don't want to bring it with your fast guys. I mean, maybe occasionally
You're
you
gonna
want
have
to
to.
throw up a Trick Room. Yeah,
And it
might,
is
you
good.
might have to, but I
But,
think this team
yeah.
just doesn't want to let you get Trick Room set up. It wants to kill you immediately, and I do think it is very good at that. Don't get me wrong. I think those the top 5 plus Mega Medicham, they're going to be killing things for sure and putting them to sleep. I
Yeah.
think that is a very solid core.
This
Yeah, go ahead, Sukaba.
This is like the freest earthquake click I've ever seen on like not harming your partners. Like this Mamoswine is
Yeah.
literally clicking earthquake every week. It's like it literally doesn't have to worry about killing any of the top 4, and even Venusaur
Scarf,
is like
Earthquake.
resists it, right? Or it doesn't resist it, but
And end of move list.
like Mamoswine is gonna eat people for lunch, like with earthquake. That's actually just I like the synergy of that. I feel like always if you take a premier ground type, you should try to have at least one like levitator or like good flying type to prepare it with. And we have the Disquake option as well with the Rotom.
Yeah.
You know, we have speed control with the Rotom. You throw a Scarf on it with Electro Web. It's always good. That's part of why any Rotom form is just a good thing to have on a draft team. Is just for that. It's like the perfect speed tier where it's like you throw a Scarf on it and suddenly like it's deceptively fast with speed control. While also just being good in its own form and the way you normally use it. But I agree. I think this is a top-heavy team that's quite well crafted in its top-heaviness, and that what you want to see on a top-heavy team is value picks that can slot into those last 1 or 2 slots that you're going to have open every week. And I think this team does a pretty good job with that, albeit the Trick Room weakness is a bit of a problem, but pretty good.
These mons are so great, and yet it would be better if one of them was significantly worse, but way faster. Like, your major offensive threats are 98 speed, 100 speed, 100 speed. And just like a 50 speed mon with a Scarf can outspeed those guys, just barely. But like, if you had a Dragapult,
Chlorophyll. Yeah, don't forget Venusaur too.
Yeah, I was gonna say, don't forget
Mega
Venusaur.
Beedrill would go hard on this team just by stretching the speed tiers out. Like, I really just
too good.
It's one or 2 range options and speed options
ghost
from a
type.
great team, and I still think it's a good team. But maybe there's a way to stretch people out and force them to run plus speed natures more.
Don't you just click Fake Out and then Speed Control into this team?
Yeah, possibly.
Yeah, they don't have a ghost. Yeah.
Yeah, no ghost. The type chart is fake, and we all know that. But
It's a nice
this
chart.
is
It's
not
nice.
easy.
It looks
It's
damn
nice.
good.
That's
It's
not
nice
damn
chart.
good.
It does look
Yeah.
good.
Is it really? Is it really fake now that Terra's gone?
No,
I feel like
Terra's
it's actually
gone.
kind of
Okay,
relevant.
It's
Skarmory's
we're
not
back
real
to-
though, guys.
Yeah.
Dedenne is not
Yeah,
real.
yeah, Skarmory is
Sharpedo's-
pretending.
Sharpedo's
Yeah.
maybe
Alright,
real once or
delete the
twice.
heathens. Let's see what we're looking at here. Delete the
Sharpedo's
heathens.
as real as Houndoom is.
Let's see this sharp chart.
If we're
the
calling
sec chart without
Sharpedo
that.
real, then we're calling Houndoom real.
Okay, so this team is actually it's a nothing. It's like when Poppin drafted like 3 normal types, your chart is just kind of barren, which means it's lacking weak points, but it's also not resisting anything.
Covering.
And so
Yeah.
that can so maybe the resistances are not quite as strong. But no,
It's
I
a
think they're
nuke
still
team.
pretty
It's
good.
gonna nuke
Yeah.
you. Like it's trying to nuke you
Looks
turn
damn
1
good.
or put something to sleep. You know, and for that it is good.
Yeah.
Cool.
I think it's gonna
B
come
tier.
down to, like,
it
if you
made
have a
B
really
tier
good
just
answer
off the
for some-
amazing offense for me, but it can't do better than that.
Yeah, I think the immediate instant nuke button on quite a few Pokemon make it a solid team, but yeah, I think somewhere around B for me too.
Alrighty, we got one more to take a look at here. We're coming up on. We just clicked over past an hour here, a few minutes, 2 minutes ago, 3 minutes ago. So we got one more to talk about, and then we'll talk about 8 more in another video.
Dragon.
Dragon.
That's all I got.
Good type.
Is this electric?
Dragon type. Consider
Or
this:
dragons.
dragons high base stat total. Good.
Mhm.
Big numbers, big
I mean,
good.
I mean, you can't deny the logic, guys. Big numbers equal winning. And honestly, like if you're gonna take like 3 of the same type like that, I think dragon's a pretty good one to do it. I think dragons also gets a little bit of a boost in this format because I feel like it was hard to use dragons offensively in Terra because Terra Fairy was so common and Terra Steel was so common. So I feel like now that we're back to normalcy, I think clicking dragon moves are just really strong neutral attack options. And obviously, what's interesting though is like these 3 dragons are not traditionally like, I mean, aside from the Dragonite, I suppose, but although that's kind of different with the Mega form, I guess, being special, it kind of throws me off. But like, Dragapult, you don't really think of as like an offensive juggernaut in doubles because Dragon Darts kind of spreads out the damage and makes it a little underwhelming. Gudra, you have Draco, which is always really strong, but like it's more of a defensive piece that kind of sticks around and does annoying things with its coverage. and sets up a little bit. So like I think like the dragons are not super offensive here, and I think that's fine. I think this team does a pretty good job. You know, it's actually 4 dragons, guys. I just noticed the Appleton sitting there at the end.
Yeah,
Boom!
4
Look at
dragons.
Let's
this.
assume it's not real
Just keep
because
stacking
like
dragons.
you're beating Appleton for free when
Appleton's
you're
real.
targeting the other dragons.
No, it's real. It's
Sure,
real.
but
It's not.
I don't know.
I'm
Put that
sorry.
thing back. Put that thing back. Don't
No,
disrespect
Ditto-
my boy.
The thing is,
Ditto is
I
real.
think even if you remove a lot of Pokemon, the team is very good off of the top mons, even though half of them are dragons. Imagine you're trying to beat these dragons and you're getting auto burned. How many times is Vaporeon going to sneakily sweep you? The mon is really, really solid, and it just Calm Mind scalds you, and you lose. Like the mon is really, really good. I think it was really well. It was a great early grab, and is going to do way more than 5 points for mid-bus.
Ditto was mistiered. I believe that now. It's 4 points to potentially copy your opponent's mega with an item. That's something.
Well, that's cool. Yeah, no, it's definitely good, and Salazzle's definitely good value here.
Salazzle, very
Team's
good.
very high value. Is it short on depth because it's triple dragon, or frankly, these dragons do it all, so it doesn't matter?
Yeah,
You know,
I don't-
and
I
we
don't
haven't
view
even
the 3
talked about
dragons as
Mega.
massive.
We haven't
Mega
talked about Mega
Scovillain,
Scovillain. Mega Scovillain's pretty crazy. Like the ability to burn your opponents for free
So
while
dumb.
you set up Leech Seed and you sit on the field and you heal yourself
And you have
then
Rage
burn
Powder.
more things and you draw in the attacks. Now it's not the bulkiest Pokemon, so you invest fully in it. You could also invest in its offenses too. This isn't ladder. You don't have to run a bulky Scovillain that burns everything. You could also just nuke things with Leaf Storm or Overheat. I
Yeah,
think it's
got
pretty solid.
138 both attack stats.
It doesn't
Not
have
nothing.
real physical attacks, so it's kind of it's overheat.
Yeah, I guess what
Amazing.
what moves does it have? But
Yeah, it's mostly a special attacker in practice, but it is good if you get to hit. But frankly, you shouldn't be hitting with it because you have very good offense from other places on this team.
Damn, Spicy Spray is crazy. What
Spicy
is
Spray
this ability? I'm just looking at it.
It's wild, dude.
What the hell?
Get burned.
It's not.
Dude, it's
great.
like it has Burning Bulwark, but just like all the time.
Yeah.
It's just better, and it doesn't even have to be a contact move. That's
No,
nuts.
it's anything. It's
dumb.
crazy.
Does that include indirect damage? Like if I
Yes.
like
Like
if
rock
I
slide
use-
and stuff. Yeah.
Well, it's attack damage, but any attack damage, contact, special, physical,
God
doesn't matter.
damn,
Yeah,
that's
the
crazy.
team doesn't have a amazing synergy, as in like Hatterene's just kind of hanging out by itself. It's a good mon, so it can sometimes do that. Hippowdon's kind of hanging out by itself sometimes.
Hippo
like
at 5
these-
points is kind of sick. This
it
board had
yeah.
value in the low tiers for sure.
Even if Lucario is like nothing, which it might be, then the team is pretty good just off of its top mons. It's kind of weird, but I think this team does end up among the higher I have ranked.
Actually.
It
You,
was really,
you
really
always
scary.
have to prepare for Lucario. You have to be ready for Scarf Final Gambit. That's just something that can always come.
Hmm.
And
have to,
no one else is competing for the scarf for the most part.
yeah, you have to make
Yeah,
sure
that's
you have
fair.
a mon with enough, or most of your
Unless
mons have
you're-
enough HP to
yeah.
deal with it.
Unless you're
Yeah,
scarfing
who else
Dragapult
was
to
there?
be faster than another
Yeah.
scarf.
To outscarf.
but I
something.
think
Nasty
another-
Legion in
maybe-
rain. I will be
Maybe
doing
another elephant in the room that we have to discuss is the we've been talking a lot about in this first video about dual megas and triple megas and all. With the Mega Dragonite and the Mega Scovillain, I think these are 2 mons that want to be megaing most of the time, which might be a problem. Like whereas like on some of the other teams we're like, oh, like Garchomp is still a Pokemon on Jace's team. Like
Mhm.
Dragonite without an item is obviously still good, but I don't think it's worth the 16-point investment. I think if you're gonna justify taking Mega Dragonite, you want to be clicking Mega on it most matches. But I think Mega Scovillain is like really important to this team's success at the same time. So it's like I feel like the Mega button, like the fact that one of these mons is significantly worse when it's not Mega'd makes this team a little deceptively good when you're looking at it on the screen, whereas in actuality it might be a little more exploitable. Like I really think a
That's
Mega
definitely
that has a
fair,
4
but
times
these are 2
weakness
very important
not-
Pokemon that are mega.
yeah.
Okay,
and they're
Mega
mega.
all right, so Mega Dragonite.
But regular
does wanna
Dragonite is
click it
still
a lot. Regular Dragonite also has inner focus and multi-scale. So it's
And it's
it
their
has
tailwind
those-
setter.
yeah, it has those
Yes,
built-in
it's,
items
it's
that we
good,
talked about earlier.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
And we talk, which team are we? Are we referencing Jace's team when we talk about megas that don't need to click the mega button? Those mons absolutely need to click the mega button more than Mega Dragonite does. No.
Well, I was
Yeah.
saying Garchomp mainly.
Garchomp, sure, but Garchomp.
Well, I think this team doesn't have the
Gyarados.
depth the
And
this
Scissor,
team
like
has.
Scissor doesn't.
Even if
Scissor.
Hippowdon and Hatterene are good, it's not quite the level of like, wow, these are all really good going all the way to the end. So you have to consider Mega Scoville and Mega Dragonite. He has to be piloting both of these guys well, and he has to come up with game plans that don't
Yeah.
need
I think
both of them to show up.
that's kind of where I'm
Yeah.
at with it. Yeah, that's a good.
Yeah, like
assessment.
is Mega Dragonite worth 16 points if you're not going to click Mega?
No.
Then yeah,
No way.
probably not.
And it's like
Probably not.
honestly, like, and having a 4x weak mon, people forget it's like you can't put a resist berry on a mega, so it's like
Yeah.
and like the ice weakness is real on this team. Like if we don't want to ignore it, like, I mean, do you
I
have
don't
plenty of
ignore
good resists? Absolutely. Absolutely, but like a lot of your major players don't want to be taking an ice move, and even the Mega Scovillain is only taking it neutral, right? So it's like you're going to be bringing ice coverage. So it's like, and yes, you have multi-scale to mitigate, but like you could also fake out Ice Beam, right? You can feint. Is feint in the game? I don't know. You can priority move and ice. Like there's ways to break the multi-scale that make it exploitable. So
Vaporeon, low-key huge player on this team. Team ends
I
up
was gonna
low
say
8
that
for me.
too, but is that a good thing? I don't think that's a good thing if Vaporeon's a major
It
player. It's a
might
good
actually
Pokemon, but
be really great.
no, I think it's a good thing.
Yeah.
Honestly, not all, but a lot of the EV evolutions are underrated. I feel like in draft. They're not flashy picks, but they're like the glue that holds your team together. Like stuff like
Combine
Umbreon,
really helped.
Vaporeon.
Yeah.
Yeah, getting Calm on was huge.
Okay, that was your Tyranitar division.
All right.
How far behind are we?
We're an hour and 11 minutes. We just ticked over. All right.
I think that's.
We've got time to record a second one, so we're gonna do that here in a few minutes. But for the rest of you, we will see you in the next video. We love you very much.
We love you, VBL. Happy 19th season. Holy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
6
That's
years.
crazy.
Yeah.